Hello all my distant students. Today we're talking about songs, song analysis, and transcendentalism. So in this week's lesson we're going to take a look at three things. First, we're going to read and break down In the Depths of Solitude as both a transcendentalist and a modernist poem. Then we're going to practice breaking down a song for its meaning, and we're going to preview the portfolio assignment directions for song analysis. So here's our poem, In the Depths of Solitude. It is in Springboard, and we are looking at this as both a transcendentalist piece and as more of a modern piece. So this is written by Tupac Shakur. You might know him more for his rap. He's also has his name as Tupac with a number 2, which is going to be important to know when we take a look at the poem. So let's read a little bit more about Tupac to understand his background and how he relates to poetry as a whole. So over here it says, Tupac Shakur was an American rapper and poet known for his influence in 90s rap culture and spoken word revival. His songs and poems illustrate struggles of injustice, inequality, and inner turmoil of an artist sensitive to the troubles of society. So at first, we're just going to read the poem and get kind of a feeling for the rhythm, rhyme, overall tone, what kind of emotions is he trying to stir up, does he have a specific audience? It's always good just to get a general first read. So this is In the Depths of Solitude. I exist in the depths of solitude, pondering my true goal, trying to find peace of mind and still preserve my soul, constantly yearning to be accepted and from all receive respect, never compromising but sometimes risky, and that is my only regret. A young heart with an old soul, how can there be peace? How can I be in the depths of solitude when there are two inside of me? This duo within me causes the perfect opportunity to learn and live twice as fast as those who accept simplicity. Alright, so let's take a deeper look. So here's Tupac right here. So for our second read, we're going to take a look out for some figurative language and what it could mean. So remember, figurative language is going to be things like simile, symbolism, metaphor, personification, hyperbole, anywhere where meaning is stretched beyond what it literally means to what it could figuratively mean. So let's take a look. So first we have here a metaphor. He says, I exist in the depths of solitude. Well, the depths of solitude isn't a real place. It's a metaphorical place. So depth, you feel like you're really deep down, almost like you're in a cave or a dark hole or at the bottom of the ocean. And solitude, like you play solitaire, the card game, means to be alone. So it looks like he's describing how deeply alone he feels. He exists there. He stays there. Maybe he's never left there, or at least he's there right now. Another example, we have some diction. He is saying he has a young heart with an old soul. So there's a contradiction there, but he is purposely describing his heart as young and his soul as old. So he's feeling like, man, I'm so young, I haven't lived that long, I have all these inexperienced emotions, but I feel like I should know what to do. I feel like I have that experience and wisdom deep down inside of me. So these things are kind of conflicting with each other. So he's being very descriptive here with that and choosing those words carefully. We also have some symbolism. He is using a symbol of the twins or the duo or the pair, but this pair is going with his heart and his soul again, these two sides of him that are still struggling. He also capitalizes it, which makes it stand out. So he says, this duo, again, these two things inside of me. So he has two enemies fighting. He has two things that can't work together inside of him, two perspectives inside of him. This also goes back to what we were talking about in the Harlem Renaissance, when the American New Negro movement in that 1920s and 30s had a lot of black artists struggling because they felt like they were black and they were American, and they couldn't figure out how to make those two things work together. So that is something we can see also with Tupac here. He thinks he has these two sides of him that just can't get along. He also has this sort of paradox. How can I be in the depths of solitude when there's two? Solitude means to be alone, but he has more than one perspective. So does that mean he's doubly alone because both parts are lonely? Or is he not alone because there are those two sides? So he's bringing up a lot of questions and not so many answers here. So we're going to practice analyzing a song. This is a song by the band Gorillaz. This is the full song here, and the lyrics are on the following slide, so you can click here and you'll listen to it. Like we did with the first one, we're going to do just a really quick first read to get some info, so you can listen to it or read the lyrics. So at this point, we're going to practice finding examples of figurative language, interpreting what they mean, and trying to come up with an overall meaning. And why is that meaning important? So here are the lyrics. So I'm just going to read through them, a first read. So this has two voices in it. The main singer, his name is 2D, and then there's going to be another part, the hook, which is sang by Yukimi Nagano, who I think is supposed to be Noodle, the character inside this space. So let's take a look. Oh, joys are us, the sun has come again to hold you, sailing out the doldrums of the week. The polyphonic prayer is here, it's all around you, it's all around you out here. And if the whole world is crashing down on you, fall through space out of mind with me. Where the emptiness we leave behind on warm air rising blows all the shadows far away. The falling of the whole empire is here to hold you, rolling out and haunted till it sleeps. Now this is the hook, so this repeats a couple times. Little memories marching on, your little feet working the machine. Say, will it spin? Will it soar? My little dream working the machine. Soon, like a wave, empires will fall, and closing in on you, they're going on. Little memories, your little feet working the machine. Say, will it spin? Will it soar? My little dream working the machine. Soon, like a wave, empires will fall, closing in on you. They're going on. Alright, so let's take a look at some specific places. So I've highlighted a couple things that kind of stood out to me. Going on for here, it says, the sun has come again to hold you, sailing out the doldrums of the week, and the polyphonic prayer. So we see some sun. Sun can't actually hold someone. No arms, no hands, so it's treating the sun as a person. And it seems like that sun is almost representing like happiness coming back. Like you're feeling warmth, you're feeling the happiness, and it also says joy in that sentence too. So that's what makes me think it's about happiness. So it's like happiness is coming back. We also have some diction here. Doldrums is not a word people would normally use. Usually that's something you talk about if you're on the sea or if you're sailing, and again, the word sailing is here. So the word doldrums is a time when there is no wind, like the sea is very, very still and you're kind of stuck. So if you're stuck, you're not moving, and it adds to this extended metaphor of sailing a boat. So if you're sailing out the doldrums, that means, okay, we were stuck for a while, but now things are starting to move again. We've got the wind in our sails, and we can keep going on. We have some alliteration here. So we have P and P, polyphonic prayer. So it's standing out. Polyphonic, poly means more than one. Phonic, you have a kind of speaking or all together. So polyphonic is more than one voice. Think like a choir. So the waves are like a choir. They're all singing together. And it seems like they're singing prayers and it's healing them. So we have happiness coming back. We were stuck in the doldrums, but now we're moving on. And there's all this lovely singing and praying around you. It's all around you. and it's helping out on this kind of sea area where you're at. This next piece, we have a bit of an idiom. So there's a phrase. It says the whole world is crashing down on you. So if someone says, oh, it feels like the whole world's crashing down on me, it's usually like everything's out of control. There's no things you can do to really help. It seems crazy right now. Well, the speaker is saying, if that's happening to you, then just, help deal with it with me. We'll fall together. We'll lose our minds together. We'll help deal with it. It might not get a lot better, but at least we'll be together in the end. And down here we have some more diction. It says, the falling of the whole empire is here to hold you, rolling out and haunted till it sleeps. So haunted, that's a very specific word. You think about like ghosts and poltergeists. So this empire is haunted by the ghosts of people who escaped, but after sleep it seems like it's fine again, and it's still adding to this extended definition here. So is the empire good? Is it bad? Is it helpful? Empire does mean a whole lot of people working together, but empires also kind of take over people and control them. So it seems like it's here to offer some sort of stability, but also it's being haunted by people who maybe don't want to be there. So those were just a couple of different examples. Again, that was only about half of the lyrics, but now that we've looked at these examples, let's see what it might mean. So we have some big ideas. So living life is like sailing a ship, because we have the idea of the sun, the doldrums, the waves of prayers. There are periods of depression when the journey is rough and you feel like you're not getting anywhere, stuck in the doldrums. But the rhythm of life and the people in it keep us going. So those are people who are helping us out. Society can also feel like an empire of worker ants. So everyone has a job, they're being told what to do. It's like you're in a machine going through all this tedious work. And it's kind of hard to tell whether you're following your dreams or doing what other people are telling you to do. So is this empire good? Is this empire bad? It's hard to say, but it is giving life structure, and it is keeping people going. So we can look as to what that means to you. So we've come up with an idea, we've come up with a meaning, and why do you think it means that to you? So this week's assignment asks you to consider why you chose your song and how it influences you. So for me, when the Gorillaz Plastic Beach album came out, I was in my first year of college. I was supporting myself entirely. My parents weren't able to help me at all. They didn't have their own houses to live in. They had to go live with other people. I didn't have a car or a driver's license or a job or anything else. So I was just kind of on my own. So the recession was happening at that time in 2008. It was very hard for anyone to find a job. So it made finding work extremely difficult. And I ended up working multiple minimum wage jobs and even below minimum wage jobs just to kind of survive. My new boyfriend at the time reintroduced me to the Gorillaz, who I hadn't listened to in a couple of years, with that Plastic Beach album, and we would drive around at night in his car listening to it. We didn't really have any money to go on dates or anything, so we would literally just go get some Taco Bell and drive around listening to this song. Also, this was before you could have internet anywhere and before smartphones, so we were listening to it on a CD in his car and looking forward to our own future when we'd get kind of unstuck from the doldrums. And I ended up marrying him. So this song represents kind of the very confusing times of life when it feels like there's no direction, feels like you're not going to move forward, but you kind of have to keep floating along with your own prayers on the waves. So that is the end of this presentation. When you're thinking about choosing your song, consider one that maybe has some meaningful lyrics, or you can even talk about the instrumentation. But again, the whole point of this is to be able to think about breaking down that song for meaning and finding out what it means to you. So when you are answering yours, you should have your lyrics, find some examples of some figurative language. What do you think they mean? And then at the very end, why did you choose this song? So that is it for this lesson. Let me know if you guys need any help with it, and enjoy listening.